Hello and welcome to the review of Edinburgh versus the Blue Bulls. Edinburgh triumphed 17-10 in Edinburgh. It was a game that was very frustrating from a Bulls standpoint. A lot of errors a lot of errors in bad areas of the field. So that resulted in the application of a lot of pressure from Edinburgh onto the Bulls on the back of those areas because they're often in terrible portions of the field. So yeah, the Bulls very very frustrated. It was a tough game to watch. The scrum dominance wasn't there. Edinburgh had their number on there. Schoeman, the loose head for Edinburgh, had an absolute banger. I felt. Unfortunately, some of the game was interrupted by a load shedding episode on my behalf. So I actually missed a good portion of the game in sort of the middle to right at the end of the second half was all in the dark for me. I returned and the Bulls scored a try. It was 17-10 at the time. And yeah, they managed to put in some good phases near the end and actually went over for a try. Madosh Tambwe being ruled to have had made a double movement, and the try was subsequently disallowed. I thought that was quite harsh. I don't think he necessarily propelled himself forward. I feel like he did as much as he could within the law. But then again, it's one of those things that is fairly subjective, and in the end, the referee ruled the tackle to have been completed on the 5 meter, and then any further movement from there would have been the second movement. So that was disallowed. And then in the final stages, the Bulls had ball in hand and they were putting together some good phases. And Edinburgh, their defensive line initially scrambled at the end during those last few phases, but then they really managed to set well. Credit to Edinburgh. They played an immense game, especially with losing Jakob van der Vault to injury. Yeah, the Bulls were just not good enough. And once that defensive line set at the end, Edinburgh were really really solid and forced the Bulls into going really drastic with the cross kick from Morne Steyn, and the cross kick wasn't the best, and it was a bit of a scramble. But on a whole, Edinburgh deserved victors. Bulls did not do enough of the right things in the right spaces. So I think the result shows a true reflection of what happened in the game for the most part, for the parts that I managed to see. I wish I had been able to be broadcasting live for the Bulls tribe, but such is life. The Bulls are going to go back to South Africa now, and there's going to be a lot to think about. I think it's been a tour that's been a bit of a baptism of fire for all the South African sides, but the Bulls will be delighted to go back home and host Munster at Loftus at the end of this month. So that could also be in front of fans. So that's another big step for SA Rugby in general with regards to the COVID pandemic. It's a big step for South Africa because we haven't had anything like that. So that would be awesome, and it's going to be awesome, and we excited to hear more details on that. But for now, in tactically and linked to this game, the Bulls are not going to be happy, but it is a nice time for them to go home, recoup, and let's see how well the northern teams tore down to South Africa. That's going to be sort of the next revealing of the competition, as we've just had the South African side struggling up north. So let's see if it'll be the same on the flip side, and the South African sides are starting to settle even with this Bulls loss. I feel like there would have been a lot learned, and it's just basics, line out throws, hands, discipline. It's just that's just got to improve from the Bulls. They've got to find some sort of solution with that scrum because they were dominated and they had no plan. So 17-10 in favor of Edinburgh. Great performance from Edinburgh. Not good enough from the Bulls, and it's as simple as that. They need to go out next time against Munster, and they need to just play better, do the basics better, and find a way to get that scrum dominance back. So that rounds out the review for this game. Again, very sad that it was disturbed with regards to the live stream and broadcast and missed a crucial part of the game, but such is life, as I've said previously already. So that's it from me, Dylan Kutsia, for the review. Edinburgh takes down the Bulls 17-10. Thank you.